Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello and welcome to episode 163 of the Film Blurs. I am Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey, a.k.a. J.O.T's Dynamite, Praetorian Jeff, Revengeman Button, He Who Remains, Patty Ruxpin, Jobu Tupaki, Little Tom, this motherfucker, to be determined, Black Giovanna Ribisi, Chocolate Tarantino, Ebony Spielberg, a.k.a. The Final Boss, a.k.a. New Glasses Who Dis. And I'm joined here, as always, with my friend and co-host.
What's up, you fucking ball bags? It's Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, a.k.a. the true father of Joe, Kanye, and Drake's kids. Fucking pussy-ass Drake. Bought that boy. Yeah, bought that boy. A.k.a. Papi Chulo, a.k.a. the Glizzy King, a.k.a. Mr. Krusty. I'm trying to get back in that game, a.k.a. the Lethal Protector, a.k.a. It's Morbin time, a.k.a. Ezekiel Sims, bad ADR, don't match my mouth. I can't believe all them shits is on Netflix. Y'all pay for Netflix. Only place you can watch that bullshit. AKA, my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other. AKA, I want a Subaru Outback with mad strippers in the back giving shape-ups. AKA, Rough McRuff. AKA, D's Nuts. AKA, B-Wood, the Magnificent.
All right, so
here we are talking. We're doing a full-on spoiler review for Mission Impossible. Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. Oh, excuse me. The Final Reckoning.
It's Mama named it Dead Reckoning Part 2. I'm going to call it Dead Reckoning Part 2.
Yo, don't get it twisted. This is literally a part 2. Like, there's no way around it. Like, we might as well just come out the rip and say this. So, like, yo, if y'all want to pause this and go see this motherfucker, yeah, like, we don't care for this shit at all.
I mean, go ahead and watch Dead Reckoning Part 1. It makes no real bearing on Part 2.
I think I like Dead Reckoning Part 1 better than Part 2. I'm with you. I'm calling this shit Dead Reckoning Part 2. I ain't calling this Final Reckoning. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's, woo.
Yeah, I talked to somebody and they're just like, all right, so like, yo, we get into spoilers, all right? So like, again,
warning.
You think it's cheeks. So at the beginning, the first 15 minutes, Luther has cancer?
Who knew? Right?
Question mark?
I mean, all right, so for the first part, part 1, Luther goes off to be off the grid to come up with a way to kill this fucking AI. Part 2, he's living in a subway tunnel like a fucking bootleg Batman, right? And he's got a hospital bed. He's wearing a hospital gown.
Has a nurse.
Has a fucking nurse, which I mean, I don't know what nursing agency set this up, right? And unless it's some secret CIA fucking nursing home bullshit, but there's a fucking hospital bed there, and a goddamn he's wearing a gown, but no one makes any mention of this motherfucker being sick.
I get it because like Vin, they said Vin has bad knees, and that's why like more and more in these movies he's been sitting down. I'm like, that's fucking fine because he's the guy in the chair anyway.
Give him a
Like we just
motherfucking
saw the
wheelchair.
accountant. Like we saw the accountant too, right? He had 18 guys in chairs, and that's all they did most of the time was be in the chair.
Not one,
It's fine for this motherfucker to be in the chair.
not nary one of them motherfuckers in The Accountant 2 got up out that fucking chair. Right?
Yeah, and you're gonna replace him with fucking Benji. So yeah, they kill off Luther, which is sin number one. And somebody's like, well, they had to up the stakes somehow. I'm like, they did it last movie. They killed off Ilsa last movie.
And like, all right, so I don't even say up the stakes. They had to give Ethan more of a primary drive to want to come after this Gideon dude. And I get,
Which is stupid. It's
Yeah.
stupid because you have one, he killed Ilsa. Number two, you got that flashback that you keep flashing back to
that you never
don't
explain. Yeah.
Like, let's all right, I'm gonna get into this. There's all the questions you have that you want answered, like who the fuck is Gabriel? What's the shared history between Gabriel and Ethan? Who's the lady that Gabriel murders that's pinned on Ethan? None of that explained. Instead, this movie goes back to all 6 previous entries and shit that you don't even care about. You're just like in passing, like whatever. It is whatever. They explain for no reason. Like the MacGuffin in the 3rd movie, they retcon that and explain it, and I'm just like, look, JJ literally called that the rabbit's foot for a reason, just because he's like, bro, this is literally a MacGuffin, and at the end of the day, who gives a shit? It's just something for the bad guy to go after and something for Ethan to prevent from falling into his hands.
Right.
Perfectly fine. I don't care. I did not need the rabbit's foot fucking explained to what it really was, and the explanation is insane. So is the reveal with Shea Wiggum's character. Like Shea Wiggum's character, I want to know what's his beef with Ethan because he's mad at him. Right. You never found out. You find out his I was like, this nigga had a hidden identity. I was like, what? And when they say it, I was just like, nah, get the fuck out of here.
All right, and so back to the Shea Wiggum thing. All right, so you are in the motherfucking CIA, FBI, whatever like that, and you have a goddamn secret identity, right? Right? Like you changed your name or whatever like that. Code of spoiler. Should we spoil it? Should we tell them who?
Nah.
All right, we're gonna let you find out about this dumb bullshit on your own. This lazy ass, fucking so it sort of gives him a motivation for being an asshole throughout the whole entire thing, but not really.
No, not even, because he even says, he's like, I'm not even mad about
the thing.
Spoiler. He says it and he just mumbles it so much. It's like a mumbled line. I couldn't even understand what he said. But basically it's bullshit that he hates Ethan.
Right. And so let's get back to the beginning of this fucking movie, where apparently Ving Rhames has something. We don't know. It could be fucking anal polyps. We don't know because they never explain it. So here's the thing. So Gideon in the last movie, he had knives, right? That was his thing. He pulled knives out everywhere. This movie, he's pulling nuclear bombs out of his asshole. There are no less. This nigga has 2 fucking just random nuclear bombs.
Yo, yeah, how did he get that in there without Luther waking up and hearing him build a bomb the size of a fucking coffee table in the middle of an echoey sewer system?
100%. Right? That's but yeah, once again, yeah. So they replaced. So they and Esai Morales deserved better. So in the last one, he was just pulling knives out of everywhere. He's fucking just got a stockpile of nuclear fucking
Yo,
bombs.
I mean, at least they didn't forget about the knife because the knife comes back.
The knife does come
the
back.
knife, the knife comes
Call back
back.
to the knife.
Oh yeah. Oh, God damn it, man. Like the first hour and a half of this plays like a clip show from a sitcom. Like they keep flashing back to shit from the past 6 movies, and it's just like the first few times I was like, all right, fine. But then they keep going back to shit, and I'm like, bro, we just literally saw that shit like 5 minutes ago. Like, there's a shot from Mission Impossible 3 where Ethan grabs the rabbit's foot, and they cut back to that shot, I want to say 3 or 4 fucking times. And it's like,
Mhm.
bro, we fucking get it. Like, I don't even want to say, like, for to give y'all some surprise, like, I'm not gonna say what the rabbit's foot really is. But now it makes me respect JJ for calling it the rabbit's foot in the first place because its real name, I was just like, word, word, y'all, word. Oh, just so you know, the rabbit's foot is not even a chemically destructive device.
Yeah,
Like that was a
it's
fake out. So we'll let you to see what it really is.
um yeah, so like you were saying, this movie spends the first hour and a half kind of reminding you that it's the last. That it's the last, like it's supposed to be the last movie by doing all these callbacks, and throughout the movie, they're paying off shit from the
That
previous
didn't need
movies that didn't
that
need
didn't need to
paying
be
off,
paid out. Yeah,
right?
that didn't need to be paid off at all.
So,
Holy shit.
you
Yo,
know
the
the
CIA break in, Jeff, they showed that like 8 times. And
yeah,
it's like, yeah, we get it. Like, we saw the knife fall the first time. Like, yo, when Ethan is handed the knife from the first movie, the entire theater was like
yeah,
dying. And it's just like, yeah, nigga, because like,
yeah. Like, so
fuck.
you kept this fucking knife, right? Like, and open too. Like, he kept the knife
Yeah,
open for all this
yeah.
time. So everybody gets a fucking call back and cameo. So yeah, even the knife as is a character with a payoff.
Yeah, man, because a very insubsequential minor character from the first movie is now a
A major
fucking
character.
major supporting character in this movie, and it's insane. It's insane on every level. I don't have a problem with the actor or the character itself. I just think it's insane that that motherfucker is there for that long and
Right.
goes on the adventure with them.
Yeah. And I would not have a problem with a lot of the shit we're going to talk about if it were a better movie, right? If it were a better
Right.
movie, I would all right, that's kind of like, and we went from, if it were a better movie, we would go from groaning seeing this shit to being like, all right, that's kind of cool, right?
I
But
mean, the main problem with this is like it's too focused more than like ever since 4, they've shot these without a script and they just based it around shit that they wanted to do in the movie. And these last two have been so predicated on the stunts that it is lacking action in general. It is literally just watching, excuse me, Tom do stunts. And I'm like, bro, we need some fights in here. Like we need something. And
in the
and and like there's only 2 really big set pieces in this motherfucker. The rest of it like a lot of talking heads.
a lot of exposition that doesn't need
It makes sense,
exposition.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it is. They
s-
treat Ethan like the fucking messiah in this. It is weird to watch Ethan move around in this and how people look at him and like how people just like stare at him. And I'm just like, yo, is this some Scientology shit?
Dude, I have no fucking clue. But talking about the fights, right? So in the first 15 minutes, there's an escape, whatever like that, which could have been an all-time fight sequence, right?
Right, right.
But they don't show the action. They show another character's reaction to what she's seeing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you have a perfect opportunity to show us some real fucking knockdown, drag out, and what you give us is pretty much a joke.
Yes, it's there for comedic effect. It's recalling the opening of Rogue Nation, which is the 5th one, where homie is tied up, comes and saves him. It's like that, except you know, not good.
Right. Right. Um, so the airplane stunt at the end, it's cool and whatever, but we've seen him hang off an airplane before,
Yeah, that was in
right?
the beginning of 5. Literally, what opens 5 is him hanging off the airplane.
Right.
Uh,
We've seen the Halo jump. Like it, for the last movie, the stunt it's good, it's great, good for Tom Cruise for doing it, but it's in the
it comes
history.
nowhere close to the helicopters
Right.
either in Fallout. Like I'm like Fallout, they went so hard that these last two have just not lived up to what they did in that one at all. And that honestly is a more satisfying ending for Ethan as a character, for this franchise, for the other characters in this. It was a more satisfying ending than this one, because the way this one ends, I'm just like, this is not even an ending, y'all. This has this almost the same exact ending as the 4th movie.
It ends like every one of the other ones where Ethan and his crew just disappear into a crowd.
Yeah, right.
No,
Right.
like no payoff, no rest for the wicked, no like anything like that. It's just they they nod at each other and
And
disappear.
disappear. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like the only positive I could say here is like they made Grace a better character
One
because
hundred
she
percent.
actually has something to do and she puts her skills to the test, and we finally get to see her fight, and I'm like, okay, she can actually handle herself. But the one major fist fight we get in this, it sucks because we watch these characters like body people in the last movie, and in this one they're having trouble with like 4 guys, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here, y'all. And the 4 guys escape anyway.
Oh, the
They pull a,
Russians, the Russians,
yeah,
yeah,
ninja vanish.
yeah. So there's
You might as well put foot soldiers. Ninja vanish.
motherfuckers just appear out of nowhere. There's a whole
Oh my
entire
god.
uh, there's a whole entire submarine chase that really doesn't get
Yeah.
paid off.
Nah. Yo, shout out to the black dude. I'm gonna look his name up, but like he is the MVP of the movie. And watching him, I'm like, bro, this is why Luther stuck around for so long. Cause what's homie's name? Ving Rhames, he straight up told Brian De Palma on the first one, because he's supposed to die in the first one. He's just like, yo, man, why's the black dude always gotta die? And Brian De Palma's like, yeah, you're right. So that's why he was the only other person besides Ethan to survive the first movie. And now here we are, 30 years later. The only person who's been a constant in these is gone. I'm like, fuck y'all, man. Like, seriously, fuck y'all. That dude's name is Trammell Tillman. And
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'd rather see an IMF, like a Hunt for Red October IMF with
Right.
Trammell Timmel and his submarine crew, which also includes Katie O'Brien. And she had some really weird energy going on with Tom Cruise in this, where I'm just like,
It's like, is it
what is this?
is it
It
sexual or not, or
yeah,
respect? I
it's
don't.
yeah,
The whole
yeah.
entire shower scene where he's in the shower and she's just got her hand on his shoulder while they're interrogating him when he gets on the sub,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right?
Oh, to heat him up. To
To
heat
heat
him
him
up.
up, but like what? But you saw like she put her hand on his shoulder,
But I
right?
get it. I get that. I get that because he is a stranger on a classified submarine, and he does try to get up, and she's like, "No, no, no, you gotta stay under this a little longer."
Yeah, no, but like it was weirdly sexual, right?
Not
Which is
that. It was the glances for me.
yeah, it's a touch for
But
me.
if that's what you got from it, then I mean, that's also just doesn't work in the movie's
Right.
favor if that's how you read it. Because I didn't read it that way, but if that's how you read it, that's not good.
Yeah, like no matter it's like they're all acting in different movies.
Yeah, yo, I'm saying like you know, you would think like they bring it up too. They're like, you've gone rogue almost every like a handful of times over the course of like 30 years. And you would think yeah, why don't they just trust this motherfucker if they all know his background?
Right.
And it gets to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, we just do trust you. And I'm like, all right, cool. So then why are you letting Kit Rich go off the fucking reservation and get in the fucking way? Because Kit Rich gets in the way. And I'm just like, now y'all padding out the runtime. Because we got to a point where I'm like, okay, we're gonna start to wrap it up. And then Kit Rich and what's that dude's name? Shea Wiggum show up, and I'm
Right.
just like, oh, we gotta pad this motherfucker out, man. Like this movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes, and it does not need to be that long. Like this could have been like a nice 2 hours.
Right. Yeah, you could have cut 50 minutes from this. The whole entire aircraft carrier scene. Look, I love Hannah Waddington, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
I think she is a goddess walking on earth. But
Right.
she is useless in this, right?
Yo, she's in there to yo, listen, she's in there to reference the original because the original movie's release date becomes a plot device. And I really do wish I was making this shit up.
Mhm.
That the original movie's release date, because as soon as it came on screen, the date, I whispered over to Jeff, I was like, Doc, that is the original release date of the very first Mission movie.
Yeah.
And Jeff was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, no, I'm serious.
Yeah. And it would have been fucking cool if they explained it.
They give a little throwaway explanation, which is hilarious, which is this is the date that something bad happened to
Right.
both of us.
Right. And I'm just like, word? Can we what
No.
that
No.
the mystery of May 22nd, 1996, right? Was more interesting to me than the movie, right? I was like, what happened on that fucking day? Right? I know what happened on that day in the real world, but what happened to you two bitches? Right?
Oh my god.
And like you said Hunt for Red October. And this automatically made me think, right? So that whole entire extended sequence is part Hunt for Red October, part Top Gun, right? There's honestly nothing original in this shit.
I'll be real. They wasted a lot of time and a lot of money getting him on an aircraft carrier to a plane for him to jump out of the plane to get into a sub. I'm like, y'all niggas could have just put him in like a stealth jet and had
Right.
him drop out and just parachute to the coordinates of where the fucking sub was. Like, if it's a classified sub, the CIA and the president probably can pinpoint it because they're the only people who would know. That's all they had to do. And instead, we got this whole fucking workaround of him getting a helicraft carrier and getting on this fucking military ass jet. And I'm just like, we're stirring up conflict with the Russians. I'm like, yeah, we could have did that much earlier by just getting him to the sub.
And let's talk about the president and Ethan's escape, quote unquote, from the presidential bunker, right? So
it wasn't an escape. Like she put her faith in him.
Right, but here's the thing. She was like, take him to the brig, hands him the letter, right? And he gets escorted outside
to
Air Force, to Marine One. And I'm like, you could have just said, I'm the goddamn president. Gave him the letter. You don't even have to give this motherfucker the letter, right? You're the president. You could have just called the aircraft carrier. I was like, I'm sending secret agent Ethan Hunt. Give him what he wants. Right? That's 10 minutes right there that you could have cut.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. I'm not going to even lie. The whole bunker sequence is insane too, because I'm like, bro, we just did this in the previous film. That was the whole intelligence agency opening. That's the whole reason for that shit.
All right.
And now we're just repeating exposition dumps.
And all right. So as we're talking about, I'm just remembering the dumb shit. So there's a whole entire subplot of cultists who
I
I
forgot about that shit.
There's a whole entire subplot with cultists who are really like invested in the AI. There's like the AI is going to save us. No real payoff. The only thing is they're in there, so like every once in a while, someone you think is just working pulls out a gun and tries to fuck up the program.
Yeah, because there's an attempt on the president's life. But honest, that's not even a cultist. That was a dude who was just scared.
Right, no, I thought that was but see, here's the thing. Because one of the other people earlier was a cultist, so I figure everybody who's pulls a gun for no apparent fucking reason and tries to shoot someone is a cultist. Because they spent 5 minutes in the beginning of the movie with talking heads and everything like that on these news clips talking about these fucking cultists, which has no which has no payoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So like they mentioned that shit just so motherfuckers could pull guns in inopportune times.
Oh, by the way, y'all, before I forget this, the entity talks now.
Oh, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fucking VR coffin that somehow is able to read Ethan Hunt's mind. Which, that's cool.
And like the last movie got caught up in the Oppenheimer Barbie phenomenon. In this one, they put the most extreme Oppenheimer images in this motherfucking movie. I was just like, yo, y'all should be ashamed to steal from Nolan and use it like this. The editing is weird in this motherfucker too. It's like the transitions and the editing is straight from like a comic book movie.
Yeah. They spend 10 minutes where the AI is giving the future to Ethan Hunt, and they are showing nuclear war, right? They're showing, but they're showing every nation's missiles flying, and they're showing the destruction, and it's like that would be cool.
Here's a quick question.
Yeah.
If everybody around the world knows that this rogue AI has taken over their weapons system, why would we then bomb each other?
That is a good question.
Because that's the whole moral quandary of the movie is who's going to fire the nukes first. And it's just like, but why would you guys bomb each other if you know it's an act of war against this sentient artificial intelligence? It makes no fucking sense.
So here's the thing. Why didn't they all just shut down their nuclear
it takes till the third act for somebody to think of that.
Right. It's like, why don't we just disconnect the bombs, right? Because they explains why doesn't the AI just launch, right? It's like it wants to control all of them to make sure that to make sure that it gets every one of us. For whatever reason, it doesn't explain why the AI wants to kill everybody.
Right. It wants to start a new world order where it's in charge, but what would it be in charge of? Because everything used electronically would have been destroyed through nuclear war.
And no people.
Right. And then the other thing is when they go to when Ethan goes, they say this in the beginning of the movie, when Ethan unlocks the entity's human form, which is in the sub, and he destroys it, that means it'll send us back to the Stone Age, because this entity is now so powerful, when it's wiped out, it is going to take out all electronics in the world. And I was just like, wait, what?
That's not how the internet works at all. That's not how computers dog.
You can very much tell, like, before Fallout, the only one I was like, oh yeah, this did not have a script, and you can tell, is the fourth one. But the fourth one manages to be at least somewhat coherent and has a lot of action and is entertaining. These last two, you can absolutely tell they did not have a fucking script, and they didn't even have. It seems like they didn't even have action sequences planned or prepared. It was just Let's do some crazy fucking stunts.
Like this would be cool if we did this. Let's make it work.
And like the plane sequence, like Jeff said before, that would be much cooler if we hadn't already seen that shit in the best movie of the franchise, which is Fallout, where they did the same exact shit with helicopters.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more dangerous in that movie than it is here. Because I watched now that I've seen the movie, I was like, let me watch it behind the scenes. And just like Dead Reckoning Part 1, it's cooler watching the behind the scenes than it is in the movie. Like, sure, Tom Cruise has straps holding him into the plane, but that's still crazy to see him thrown around like that,
Right.
even if he's strapped in. And they have a pilot piloting the crane. I was like, that must suck to be that dude, because he can't breathe, because from head to toe he's in green, so they could just
Gotcha.
green screen him out.
Right.
And the same thing with the parachute out of the plane where he's doing that free fall. I was like, that's cool to watch behind the scenes. And in the movie, I was like, this is pretty cool too. Could have been a little more impactful, but it's just cooler to watch behind the scenes. Also, we might as well spoil this. I would have liked it better if Ethan died there.
Right? Because they try to do a little rope-a-dope. They try to trick you, right? Spoiler alert, the world doesn't end. Right?
Spoiler, Ethan doesn't die.
Right. They fucking accomplish the mission, but they never show Ethan landing. They show him falling. He's got the auxiliary parachute, but it's fucking up. He goes into a cloud bank, and we cut to the rest of the team accomplishing the mission. Right? And it's like, oh, did Ethan die? Right? Did he do the thing right before he plunged to his death? It's like, nope, he comes walking over a fucking hill.
I also would have liked it if Benji died, because Benji gets pretty fucked up in this. I'm like, okay, so this is the last movie. So if we kill Luther, Benji also has to die, because fuck Benji. And Benji does not die. When he comes back in that final scene, there's a few people that went, woo, yeah. And I want to be like, yo, shut the fuck up.
So what's her name? Palm? What's her name?
Clementif.
Yeah, Palm Clementif. I thought she was useless in the last movie. She's really good in this movie. And honestly, I just want to see a movie with her.
She has more to do in the last one than she does in this one. Same like Greg Tarzan Davis. You called it in the last one that they would be on the team.
Yeah.
Both of them, they join Ethan's team, and the way they join, I'm just like, that was a quick turn for a movie that has a lot of bullshit in it. Like, we could have built up to this a little better. Get the fuck out of here.
And like, they're automatically just like best buds after that whole entire fucking Mexican showdown they had for the escape. Right. They could have done a Bucky and Sam Wilson shit where they were adversarial throughout this whole entire fucking experience to add a little bit more fucking tension, right? And make and flesh out their characters. But no, like everything here is from a better Mission Impossible movie that we are never going to see.
This also does the same sins as The Rise of Skywalker and Spectre, in that everything was by design in the past movies. Like, it was all part of a grand plan. And I'm just like, I hate that so much. It sucked in those movies. It sucks here. Stop doing that shit.
Right. And I tweeted this last night. This doesn't feel like a conclusion. It feels like an obligation. Right? It feels like we gotta finish it.
Yeah, but if this was, instead of this being a studio, this being a studio decision, I guarantee you, if it was up to McHugh and Cruise, they would make 100 more of these.
Yeah, they would. And like, it's so fucking weird that Christopher McQuarrie, he wrote and directed one of the best of the franchise, and also wrote and directed the worst of the franchise. Right? This is so bad that you forget that he has an Oscar, right?
Yeah, because he wrote The Usual Suspects at 20. He was
Yeah,
20 years old when he wrote that script.
right.
This
Like
shit here, bro.
and
Y'all need a script.
he wrote one of my favorite movies of all time, Way of the Gun, right? Like he
See,
was.
that movie's whatever to me.
I mean, I love that movie, but like he out the gate, he is solidified as a fantastic writer, right? That's not apparent here at all.
I blamed the last one. I gave the last one, even though I didn't like it. I was like, all right, well, maybe it was COVID. You could tell it's a COVID movie because it's mostly chases. Maybe the next one will be better where we actually get to see them do hand to hand fights, actual like shootouts and shit. And not really. No.
Yeah, I mean, just motherfuckers just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, fucking Gabriel just appears.
Yeah, appears with nuclear bombs.
And like his only motivation is that he wants to control the world with the entity. But I'm like, haven't you learned anything? Like the entity can't be controlled. Nigga, you worked for it in the last movie.
Right. And like control, like what are you going to control? Right? Like I don't know what your prime motivator is. Do you want to create a new world order because your fucking daughter died in some fucking botched CIA operation? Give me fucking something that like explains why you're just fucking evil for no reason.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is egregious. Like the retcon that they did for the IMF in the last movie really pissed me off. And now all the tie-ins and retcons in this movie, I'm just like, you guys are literally going out your way to tie everything together, and it fucking sucks. It feels like some shit they wrote in 2 hours on the day of before they started rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I wish AI had written this. It would have been better.
I mean, sure feels like it.
Right?
Yo,
Like,
how about when Ethan gets to the sub? I leaned over to you. I was like, I guarantee you that sub falls out of the fucking off the cliff. And as soon as he gets into the sub, that shit starts tumbling down the cliff.
Yeah.
Into the trench.
Everything in here is fucking obvious.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. The two major set pieces in this are the deep sea dive and the airplane sequence. And that's wild that a fucking nearly 3-hour movie only has two major set pieces. However, with that said, I enjoyed them both, but I think I like the deep sea dive a little better. However, that shit completely took me out of it at the end because we have a whole like 30 minutes of them explaining how like, yo, you're gonna die if you take this off. You gotta breathe a certain way. This and that. You see him training and shit. They're like, yo, the waters are like frigid. You'll die in seconds. And the way that sequence ends, I'm like, okay, so if it wasn't that, then that should have took him out. And if it wasn't that, then that should have took him out. And if it wasn't that, then that should have took him out. Like they listed like 20 different variables that would kill him instantly. And I was like, get the fuck out of here at the end of the sequence.
And honestly, that didn't bother me as much as it bothered you because I was so defeated by this point. It's like, sure.
Yo,
okay.
Listen, I shit you not, within the first like 10, 15 minutes in the movie, I looked over at you 5 times. And it got so bad that I kept looking over at Jeff. Jeff eventually caught on. And Jeff's just like, he leans over, checks his Apple Watch, which normally would piss me off, but I just didn't give a shit. Jeff checked his Apple Watch. He's like, yo, we still got an hour and a half of this motherfucker left. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yep. Oh
my God.
I was keeping time. I was tracking. It was like, all right, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
Yo, this also highlights why you guys should stop greenlighting 2 movies at once. Like, look, I this whole thing is McHugh's fault because But it's also Paramount's fault because y'all gave them release dates that they didn't even make the first
Right.
time around for either one of these. With that, but like the reason why McHugh did 2-part movie here is because he was like, yeah, they greenlit 2 movies, and I don't know how to do 2 different movies at the same time. I just decided to tell one story over 2 movies.
Well, here's the thing. Get another fucking writer.
Yeah. Because
Right?
he did have a co-writer on this one. Somebody else is co-writer for screenplay, and I'm just like, man, y'all needed more time in the kitchen for both of these.
Right? Like you could have. I'm fucking give it to JJ. Right? Let JJ write the like. No matter what people say, I enjoyed 3 enough. Right? It's obviously he couldn't do much worse than this.
I mean, look, JJ's last movie is also The Rise of Skywalker.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, like, and the reason why they keep saying this is the final movie is just because both Dead Reckoning and this one are so expensive, and they're so expensive because both of these were made during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And the COVID protection and outages and the stop on production made this budget skyrocket. So that's y'all's fault. That's fucking y'all's fault. So the fact that this is one of the most expensive movies ever made. And if this was made like a normal movie, it'd probably be like what, maybe 190, 150 around that.
Something like that.
And instead it is like $400 million. So it needs to gross $1 billion in order for this to be a profit. And that's why they're calling it the final one, because they know there's no way this is hitting $1 billion.
Right. And also, if you call it the final one, people are going to like, oh, well, I gotta go out and see the final Mission Impossible. Spoiler alert, there's nothing final about this fucking thing.
No.
Right?
Absolutely not. It's not an ending at all. I will say this. I think the current tracking is going to fall because it's currently opened, because this is coming out 29 next year will be 30 years exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So 29 years to the day that Mission Impossible 1 came out, because Mission Impossible 1 came out the same weekend as this is coming out. Problem is, Mission Impossible 1 also didn't come out against a live action remake that everybody and their mom wants to see.
Of a beloved childhood entity. Right, property.
Like, me and you are like the only people who are just like, yo, look, the cartoon's right there. There's no need for this shit.
Right.
And even now, I'm like, damn, maybe, hopefully that is better. This is and like, Jeff, $400 million before marketing, and this is only going to gross at most, they're saying 80 million opening weekend.
Yeah, because you said it yesterday, they are showing this to us mad early, and the embargo, by the time you listen to this, the embargo will have been up for like a half hour. So this is like, our review is a week and a half before this shit even comes out, and it ain't gonna look good, baby.
Yo, because they're saying Lilo and Stitch is gonna open from anywhere from 120 to 150.
Yeah, it's Disney. It's Lilo and Stitch is one of modern Disney's highest grossing, most beloved properties. Right? Like, even if it's total dog shit, which, I mean, there's a high probability, right?
Yeah, man. Because listen, we still got this, and we still got How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm honestly at the point where I'm just like, yo, listen, I'm begging for mercy now. I'm like, yo, just, it's like when you see a dog, you're like, yo, can we just euthanize this dog? Like, this is inhumane. Like, I get you love this dog, but damn, y'all, like, this is fucking, it's disgusting.
It's like, stop trying to fix this dog. This dog wants to die.
It's like dragging its hind legs. It can't see.
Right. It's, yeah.
And then we got Moana next year. And I was like, bro, Moana is not even like 8 years old.
And you just had a sequel
Last year.
to your like. What fucking sense does that make? Right? That's like doing a live action version of Encanto, right? Like that movie just came out like 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, but it's a,
guessing Frozen's on the way, huh?
oh yeah, 100%. I am surprised that we haven't gotten a Frozen yet, because
Well, I guess they're just busy with 3 and 4, which honestly I wish they'd just do that. If you guys gotta keep revisiting, well, just keep doing sequels. Except for you, Toy Story. Like it is done for y'all.
I look, and once they're done raping the corpse of Toy Story, you know they're gonna do a live action version.
How?
What? They'll figure a
How?
way to fucking make that shit. They'll figure out a way. Because why not?
Yo, the
'Cause why,
only
why?
Pixar movie I want to see live action is fucking Incredibles.
Yeah, yeah. But like they will find a way to not be original. They will find a way to just keep on going back to the well. But here's the thing: if you shit in the well and you keep on going back to it, the water doesn't taste good, right? It's poisonous.
Yo, I forgot to say this at the top of the episode, so I'll say it now. Yeah, sorry we don't have our guest today. Plans fell through. We tried to get a replacement guest. That also fell through. It's called Hard Times. People got to work.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know any people in our circle who don't have day jobs at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
unless they're at a huge outlet, because there's a
Right.
lot of people there who I know that are at huge outlets where that's where all their revenue comes from. We don't have a
Right.
huge outlet, at least not yet. But
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. By the way, rate, subscribe, and share.
yeah,
Uh,
uh, I'll be real with you. We saw this on a pretty janky IMAX, so I can't even tell you how the IMAX footage is. The only time I noticed it was for the airplane sequence, the deep sea dive, and then when uh the entity and Luther commune together. And that's it.
wait, the entity in Luther commune?
Excuse me, the Anthony and Ethan.
Oh
commune
yeah.
together.
Yeah. How did that fucking? How did it read his mind?
Yo, listen, fuck if I know.
Right, like.
There's so many questions. Like, how did the entity recruit Esai Morales in the first place? How did he find him? How did he pinpoint Ethan Hunt as the one person who could stop him?
I don't. And like, it's not like the entity is fucking clandestine, right? Everybody on the face of the earth at this point knows about this entity, right? So logic would dictate that y'all would just unplug everything for a little bit and try to figure the shit out, right? Like, there are whole entire fucking protests about martial law, like about the martial law that was implemented because the AI has invaded all of these systems. None of this makes sense, and
No, it doesn't.
it's meant to seem really epic and like really fucking global and really just like end of the world type shit, and it just feels like everything we have seen before in movies that weren't even in this franchise.
I think it's absolutely wild to me that an action movie that is part of an action franchise is literally lacking in action.
Yeah, it is. It's
It
boring.
is the least action forward entry besides part 1.
Yeah, and at least part 1 had the espionage, right? And this doesn't even have the espionage.
And it gets repetitive at points. It does get repetitive. Like they keep showing Like, man, they keep showing the CIA break in multiple times. They keep showing the rabbit's foot from 3 multiple times. You know what I'm saying? They show a couple of parts from the previous movies a few times. Like the only one that doesn't get repeated is 2. Like they show some shit from 2, but
Right. They don't.
not too
Right.
often.
Right. Let's talk about the Inuit woman and Haley Atwell.
Yeah.
There's a whole entire scene where I'm not even going to explain it. Just go with it.
Yo, I
there's
kept
a
saying in this movie, the Inuit Indians found the keys. And it's just like, why do you keep saying this? My
right.
question is, how did the keys get from them to where they were at the beginning of Dead Reckoning Part 1? We never find that shit out.
Right. And it's just like, and then there's an Inuit woman who's married to the fucking station chief, right? And she becomes part of the team, right? But there's an extended series scene where this woman, the wife, is teaching Haley Atwell how to drive a dog sled.
Which I was like, up until that point, she was like driving the sled. I was like, why not just drive it the rest of the fucking way?
Right. And like I
And I
thought
get it, she knows the coordinates, but you could have easily just gave the coordinates to the wife.
and like here's the thing, because there's no subtitles, so the Inuit woman's talking whatever uh, uh, language she speaks to Haley Atwell, and she go like, I'm thinking, oh, so are you gonna just wait here and die? Right? Like, why are you teaching her how to do this? Are you sending her on her way? You gonna go back for your husband? Like, no,
Right, that's what I thought.
right,
She goes along with them.
right. She just falls asleep on the sled. It's like, oh, okay, sure, fine, yeah.
I really don't know what to say about this shit. Like, I think I've said all I gotta say. Like, other than it's bloated. Like, yo, Nick Offerman's character is so inconsequential, and he's in it for, I want to say, maybe 15-20 minutes, and yet he has some of the movie's biggest moments, and I'm just like,
Right.
fucking why?
Not earned. We don't know anything about him, right?
You don't even know his real fucking name. He's just the Joint Chief of Staff.
Right? And Holt McNeely, wasted. Everybody who's in this is fucking wasted.
Yeah. Yeah. Katie O'Brien. I felt bad for her.
Yeah,
I guess everybody just wanted to be in a mission movie.
I guess. And remember, like you said, this was started during COVID, so this is before Katie O'Brien's career started on the uptick.
Here's the thing. This one was filmed. Most of this was filmed after Dead Reckoning Part 1. So she was on the rise during Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Right. And here's
the only thing they filmed before Dead Reckoning Part 1 was the biplane shit.
Also, here's the reaction to the last one was lukewarm at best. So you've had 2-3 years to
2 years, because Dead Reckoning Part 1 came out 2023.
So you've had 2 years to make this better, right? To like look at the mistakes that the last one did, and it's like, you know what? This is the topper. This is the last entry. Let's make it the best. And instead, this thing plays like a parody of Mission Impossible movies.
Yes.
Right? Like
it makes me want to do Mission Impossible 9, just so I can introduce a bunch of new characters. We could keep this standalone going forward, and then pull an Ethan Hunt to Jim Phelps, like they did to do what I would do to, because spoiler, Ethan lives, but I would pull a Jim Phelps on Ethan in 9.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Do something interesting, right? Fucking set 9 in one location. Like make it the whole entire thing is a fucking prison heist, right?
I want these to go back to being team movies, not like Ethan is the Messiah and only he can save us.
Right, like Ethan Hunt and Friends. I'm done with that.
Yeah, man, because it's not even Ethan Hunt and friends no more, bro.
Yeah, all the friends are dead except for Benji.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Benji, who gets shot the fuck up, cut the fuck up, has a hole in his fucking chest. He gets to live. Okay. Who bled out. That nigga was bleeding out. He turned pale, y'all. Like Casper the Friendly Ghost pale. And I was just like, not. And when he showed up in the last scene, I was like, get the fuck out of here.
At
Get
that
the fuck
point,
outta
at that point, I just wanted to end and stay for the credits just to see everybody who worked on it and like give them their flowers. But there's no post credit scene.
Yeah, usually the one thing I like with McQuarrie is ever since he took over the franchise, he's been adding roll calls to the end of it.
Mm,
And I was hoping there's no roll call. There's just end credits. Like
right.
I get why they didn't do it for Dead Reckoning because it just says end part 1. This one, I was just like, okay, we'll get a roll call for the entire series. No roll call. It's just credits start rolling.
Yeah.
End of part 1.
This is a non-movie. It's a 3-hour non-movie.
That's the thing is like the last one too was also pushing 3 hours. Like there's no reason that both of these are pushing 3 hours and are this lackluster. Let me Google this real quick, Jeff, to see how long Dead Reckoning
2:43.
2:43?
Yeah.
So this motherfucker is only 5 minutes longer?
Yep. I looked at it last night. It was like 2:43, maybe 2:45. Yeah.
Yo,
But
you're right. It's 2:43 because I just pulled it up. 2:43, and this one is 2:49. So we might as well just say 2 hours and 50 minutes.
yeah. So we're talking 6 hours of nothing combined.
And there's stuff in both of these you can cut out. Like the White Widow could have been completely cut the fuck out.
Because she was cut out of the second one.
Yeah, apparently I just found out today she did. Vanessa Kirby did film scenes for this entry.
Yeah, you can tell that there's another 2 hours worth of shit they cut out to get to this point, to get to 2 hours and 50 minutes, right? Because the whole entire Luther thing, they have had to have explained that, right? They would have it would be a sin if they didn't at least put it on paper somewhere, right? And I'm sure
Also,
they shot it.
Why is Charles Parnell the only person from that joint security staff meeting to come back? What happened to Carrie Eulis in the last one?
Doesn't he show up in this one? Like in that
No.
in that flashback?
That's it though.
Like yeah, I mean, yeah.
So what happened to his character in the last one? Like I don't remember. Like didn't he get away too?
Man, I don't know.
Or maybe he died. I think yeah, never mind. I think he died on the train. I think what's his face shanked him up with one of his 10 knives.
I mean, sure. But here's another thing. So there's a flashback to Alaska that shows up in the third act. But if you never saw the first part, you don't like. It's just this dude, just Carrie Elway showing up with a parka.
Yeah,
looking menacing.
Yeah,
like they made no mention of this dude who died on this train, who was the secretary. I don't know, man.
Did he fucking die?
I gotta watch the first. I think for our next episode, I'm gonna fucking watch the first one to see how like on a scale of 1 to 10 how much I hate this.
I mean, I did rewatch the first one, but I fell asleep just because I started it too late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see. What was his name? He was Dellinger, the director of national intelligence. And I'm like, okay, what happened to Dellinger? Like, I guess Dellinger got fucking shanked up.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Because nothing fucking matters.
Yeah, Dellinger is, yeah, so Gabriel, I was right. Gabriel killed him on the train.
All right. And so Angela Bassett is here.
as
uh,
president.
as
She leveled
president.
up from CIA head to president.
And there's a whole entire subplot with her son.
Son, have a goofy looking photo of them because when they showed that photo, I chuckled. I was like,
It's like
"That's
that is.
goofy."
Are you wearing pearls in this?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, bro.
Like I was watching, it's like
I
is
was-
she and like
it looks
who?
like the Nigerian prince scam photo.
Yeah, it's like oh okay, and then there's that picture gets a payoff later at the end of the movie, and it's like well, there's 15 different things wrong with how this played out. And like I'm just gonna, we'll let you figure it. Like watch, but they could have cut that entire thing out of there, right? Yeah,
I'm not
so
even
much
gonna
fat.
argue with you, bro. Like I don't even think Ethan needed to be captured. Like this could have, like she could have just met with Ethan and just been like, "All right, you finally came in," or Ethan, like the movie starts, Ethan finally comes in
Right.
instead of this whole thing of him getting captured and shit. And he came in and he's just like, "Yo, listen, I need your help and I need you to trust me. So I need you to get me on this classified sub." And instead, bro, Ethan doesn't get to the helicraft carrier until like 30, 40 minutes into this motherfucker. Angela Bassett doesn't show up until like 20 minutes into this motherfucker. This thing is unnecessarily long.
Right, and
Like they have a flashback for Palm Clementine's injury from the last one, and it's just like,
why does that
nigga,
fucking
we
matter?
didn't
Right.
need that. Yeah,
Right.
we didn't even need that. We didn't need that at all. Even I remembered that.
And like it did, and here's the thing: she never gets her revenge, right?
Yeah,
So,
she never gets her revenge, and that injury never comes back in the play either.
right. So like why?
So there's no need. Yeah.
Right. All we have to know is that Gabriel betrayed her.
She was yep, and she
Yeah.
was a criminal.
Yeah,
You
that's
could have
all.
just started for people who did not see Dead Reckoning Part 1. When you see her in handcuffs surrounded by guards, all you got to know is, yo, Ethan and the team know her and she's some sort of criminal, and that's fucking it.
You can cut.
Because they could go back and watch the previous fucking movie.
You can cut 50 minutes. Like, and that's the thing, right? So some things they were like, oh, you should watch the first movie to know what's going on. And some things, there's multiple flashbacks from the last movie. One or the other.
And then there's flashbacks that are new to this movie.
Right? It's like one or the other. Either you leave it up to the audience to remember and watch the last movie, or you explain shit from the last movie. You can't do both.
All right, so let's wrap it up with our rankings. So go ahead with your ranking, Jeff.
God. So let's see. For me, it goes the first one top, right?
Okay, I respect that. I respect that.
Then Fallout.
Okay.
And then Rogue Nation, because like Rogue Nation and Fallout, like they have to be in conjunction, right? Because one literally leads into the other. Like Rogue Nation, right?
Fallout to me is still works as its own as a movie.
It does.
At least you know Solomon Lane is an old adversary of Luther.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's Fallout, Rogue Nation. I like 3. I do. 2, just because John Woo. What's the Ghost Protocol? And then I will give Dead Reckoning Part 1, and then this is the absolute bottom.
All right, so mine would be Fallout because this is close to perfection. Just as a movie, as an emotional journey for Ethan, as an action film, even gives Luther an emotional journey You know what I'm saying? Like this one was from top to bottom had fucking Henry Cavill reloading his arms. I've done that so many times now, gotten out of fights doing that shit. Number 2, number 1, the OG, because that's the closest we'll ever get to Alfred Hitchcock doing a big budget summer blockbuster. Like I was just like, yeah, like De Palma was on his Hitchcock shit. I mean, he always is, but this one in particular, like
Right.
and it was like a true espionage movie. And it just moves. For a movie that is dialogue heavy, it moves fast.
And like when it had action in it, it was earned and it felt like it had stakes.
I mean, two of the most memorable set pieces in cinema history: the CIA break-in and the plane in the tunnel, or not the plane, the helicopter in the tunnel.
But also, like, just when Ethan is coming in, sitting down with Kittredge at that restaurant, right? The tension in that fucking scene.
Listen, Hunt, I can understand you're upset. Kittredge, you haven't seen me upset.
Yeah, like, number
All
1.
Right. Number 3, my number 3 is Rogue Nation. Because goddamn, is that a tight story? The movie's great. I like that we don't really know who Ilsa is. So you're like, can we trust this bitch or not? She was a great addition to the franchise. And then I flipped number 4. I flip flop on. So number 4 could go. Number 4, I'll just put 3.
Okay.
And this would be lower. This would be a little higher if it just wasn't a fucking bland rework of the first 3 episodes of Alias, more specifically its pilot episode,
which is fair. Yeah.
I will say Philip Seymour Hoffman is probably the best villain besides Solomon Lane in this series, and RIP to the GOAT. And I think this film really highlights the friendship between Ethan and Luther, as well as Fallout. Moving on, number 5. So that was 4. 5 is Ghost Protocol, and Ghost Protocol would probably be number 4 if they didn't swap Benji for Luther. Also, like you had Michael Nyqvist as the villain, and just forgettable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I look. I'm not disagreeing with, like, there's no. We're almost kind of on the same wavelength. You know.
So that was 4. 5. Wait.
That was 5.
Okay, that was 5. So number 6. Number 6 is Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Number 7, Dead Reckoning Part 2, aka The Final Reckoning, because at least I thought the 2 stunts were really great, and that fight even though it ended real lame, that fight was cool in the shed in the Arctic, in that house.
All right.
And then last but not least, John Woo's Mission Impossible 2. So that's my ranking.
Okay. You know, yeah, I still think.
But they quit while they were ahead.
What was that?
Like I said, they should have quit while they were ahead. Like 6 should have been it.
Yeah, 100%.
And if this does come back, for in the future, I hope it's a new team. I don't want Benji. I don't want Ethan. Like, you guys have done enough damage here.
Yeah, just a new IMF, but also make the rules stick. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Is it a network of criminals that the government hires, or are they official branch of the fucking government?
Right, because they don't introduce this whole entire concept of you get a choice of whether you go to jail or you become IMF until these last 2 movies.
And it's whack.
Right?
It's
like,
fucking whack.
They add all sorts of fucking lore and rules in these last 2 movies that have never been established in any of the other 6 movies before it.
Man, I cannot wait for you to find out what Shea Wiggum's real fucking
Identity is? Yeah.
yeah.
If you walk out after you find out, I do not blame you. I would like honestly, you could walk out and ask for a refund, and like the manager might be like, "Yeah, I get it."
And the only reason they did it is just because so many people were so mad at that choice they made. And I'm just
Sure.
like, bro, it is almost now 30 years later, and there's been 7 other fucking movies, including this one, 7 other movies, right? At that point, anybody still mad is not watching these.
Right. And look, it to talk about why these people are wrong, you would have to talk about uh the fucking spoiler, and we're gonna let you find out this bullshit on its own. But
Man, because as soon as they said it, I turned to Jeff and I was just like, can you believe this shit? And Jeff gave me the same look like, nigga, I can't believe this shit.
yeah, needless, fucking needless.
Why couldn't he just be Jasper Briggs? Like, what was wrong with him being Jasper Briggs? It adds nothing making him
Who he is?
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it really adds nothing other than what?
right. Like it's supposed to add some gravitas and stuff like that, but he's a throwaway character anyway. You could get rid of Shea Wiggum's character.
Yo, yeah, you could. Yo, yeah. And you know this motherfucker by now and how many people he saved. And the first thing you're gonna ask him, did you kill my partner? Did you kill my boy Dagus? Is he still alive? And it's just like,
It's like
motherfucker, you know he's not gonna kill a government agent.
he has never like he actively avoids trying to kill people. He's actively avoided trying to kill people since the third movie.
Damn, bro. I'm gonna be real. The last good Mission Impossible movie was Tenet.
There you go. Leave.
That's it.
I mean, look.
Like, yo, listen. I'm gonna say Tenet is spinoff of the IMF.
And look,
They handle time crime shit. They just handle regular missions. Like, yo, fuck this.
I'm here for it. Look, yeah.
Yo, because nothing in these two movies comes remotely close to any of the crazy shit that goes on in that movie.
Yeah, because this is a non-movie, man. This is a collection of stunts. It feels like a contractual obligation. It feels like, all right, we said we give him 2 more movies.
Man, I'm glad somebody talked Tom down because he said he wanted to keep playing this till he was 80 because Harrison Ford was 80 doing Indiana Jones. And
And
you know
look
what, man?
look at Indiana Jones. That shit
Yeah,
should have
that's what
been
I was
over.
about to say. I was like, yeah, look how that turned out. Fucking nobody liked that either. That was another one made during COVID, and because it was made during COVID, and because the star is 80 years old, it was nothing but chases.
Yeah.
When Spielberg himself is just like, yeah, I can't make the movie I want, I'm out. Somebody should have sat Harrison aside and just be like, can we just pay you $50 million to let this go? Like, yeah, we promised you that we would do this when you came back for Star Wars, but like, bro, how about 50 million?
Yeah. Just, buy another plane. Just buy another plane. All right.
You know what? Let me do Mission Impossible 9. I'm going to have Harrison Ford play Ethan, and he's going to turn heel, and I kill him. I'll kill him off.
I'm here for it, right? I just want something new and interesting. That's all.
Yeah, man. I'm Mission Impossible needs to go back about being about a team and not Ethan Hunt.
A team
being
and like can
the
we
literal manifestation of destiny.
and also just fucking keep it low stakes. Make like I don't need this global shit. I like just some spycraft shit.
I mean, I don't even need. You're right. I don't need it to be global or high stakes.
World ending.
You're right. But I would like some dope action. Like that's all I ask for is like some dope action. Like I don't want to see a nigga trying to kill himself every movie making a Mission Impossible. I just want dope action. Like I commend Tom for doing that, for putting his life on the line for cinema. But at the same time, dude, I want to see action, not stunts.
Right.
Like
And
I could just go to the local fucking backwater fair and watch these hillbillies do stunts.
Right. Like and also give me a story. Give me a story that I care about. You know?
Yeah. Y'all need a script, baby. So that is episode 162.
We're the Film Blurred. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, aka He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.